Hey guys, back at it. This is day 317, 318, and 319 in my 1 year daily diary challenge. This challenge was prompted after I completed a 100-day challenge, and those first 100 days were intuitively prompted through a meditation session. I was having my quiet time, meditating in the morning. This was in Florida, and it was by the pool. It was beautiful, and I just got this very clear spoken word to me that I should do an auditory daily diary posted to a large platform, 100 days, very clear, very concise. And I was like, nah, that doesn't sound right. And I was like falling into my fears and not allowing that to come through initially. So it did come to me 2 more times very clearly and concisely the same way. And so by the third time, I followed through. And then after the 100 days was complete, I personally decided to continue for a whole year. And I have been doing it, and I was being super consistent with record every day, post every day, do it all, keep on top of it. And then life has just gotten a little mixed up over here, and I am doing my best to post as much as I can, record, and just have grace with myself that sometimes life shifts a little bit and you just have to, conform and move and shift with it. So that is what's going on here. So this was supposed to be a kid-free weekend, and my ex got delayed with travel plans. So the kids were with me Friday night and Saturday morning afternoon. So we just anticipated that. And so today, the first day, 317 would be Friday. Friday, got them both up at the same time so that we can get ready for school. And my son and I typically have our Whole Foods date that we've had forever. And we go right after dropping my daughter off. And this started 3.5 years ago or so when I first separated, and I wanted to create some consistency for them by creating, dates and special times that they knew were coming and they knew were on the schedule. So I got my daughter off to school. She was very excited, it being Friday, and then took my son to Whole Foods and we did some shopping. We got some cupcakes for his class and got some snacks for him, and it was just a really fun time to engage with him and hang out with him. And every time we do these Whole Foods dates, it's kind of transitioned a little bit where, he'll hold the basket for me, he'll open the car door, he'll be thoughtful about his sister and get her certain snacks and things. And so it was just lovely to kind of experience this with him and watch him grow and have him kind of just move with me in a store and do things that he might not normally do and have that one-on-one alone time where we can just talk about anything and be open with each other. So we were talking at the store about my new friend, I said I'll start calling him my man. And my son was just like, oh my gosh, he sounds like such a cool person. Like he could be my best friend, which is exactly what my daughter said. And so I think that they're conspiring to be like, we're trying to get this guy in earlier so that he can just be our friend. And so, I was talking to him about my man likes to game a little bit, and he's not an addicted gamer, but he likes to game and he likes animes and he likes having fun and doing kid-like stuff. And he works at a resort that has free ice cream. And my son was like, say less. He's my best friend. So it was just such a cute experience. And of course, I talked to him about making sure that I vet people and I make sure that they're the right people, not just an okay person. I would hate for my kids, to get hurt and have their hearts broken, but I can't protect them from everything, like I said before. So we will just move in the space and place where we think is the right thing and, just go with flow and the excitement. So, yes, so Friday after dropping him off to school, the kids were planning to take the bus home I got home and I started doing my workout routine. I started getting to, cleaning up the different things that were going on because I have been like purging major time and shifting things around. And I took out boxes from my storage shed outside. So there's nothing in the storage shed outside. There's nothing in the attic. Closets are starting to get emptied. It's starting to be like, here we're in the end game and we're getting stuff, put away. So I was just doing all of that, kind of getting a work out as well, doing that. Went to a massage in the afternoon, and after that massage, I was going immediately to hang out with my good friend, and we just haven't seen each other in, it's only been a month, I think. Maybe it's been more than a month, but it just felt like we haven't seen each other in so long. And so we caught up and we had a lot to catch up on, and we just like are big cheerleaders for one another and always encouraging one another. And so I decided to, we got coffee, we hung out, and oh goodness, bless me, just releasing some energy there. Decided to get together next week for brunch to just hang out again and continue to catch up until I move, because once I move, then we won't be able to do our monthly hangouts and get-togethers. Maybe we'll do like a virtual one or something. So we're very intentional about this last couple of, month and a half to hang out as much as we can. So that was lovely. And so after that, I got in the car and I headed home to get the kids from the bus stop. And it's been raining every night, so I just wanted to make sure I was home in time to get them. Then they were home, and so I started dinner. And it was just an easy dinner, nothing crazy. Again, trying to clear out the fridge and the pantry of things that I can clear out. We extended our time as far as like hanging out. And then it was time to go to sleep, which I was like, pushing it a little later than normal. But my daughter and I were both super tired and exhausted and ready to go to bed. So my son and I tried to get him settled down and get ready for the weekend. And he really wants to hang out with his friends. And my daughter was trying to hang out with her friends. And so it's like trying to manipulate the schedule so that they can do that, but then go with their dad. So Saturday, everybody woke up, relaxed and chill and on their own time. I tried to let them sleep in as much as possible, make some coffee, get a little bit of, I've been doing all these things in the morning, like taking Himalayan pink salt, drinking my hydrogen water, taking my hyaluronic acid, just for like joints and all of that. Getting my kiwi in. So it's like all these morning things I'm trying to get done to boost my gut health and my microbiome of my body. I started to do no polish. So no polish on my fingers, no polish on my toes. Let my fingers just breathe and naturally be the way that they are. And I did cut my hair, like I said, the other day. And so it's been interesting getting used to that, the shorter hair. It's not been bad. It's just been like kind of fun and cute. And then also I stopped using conditioner for my hair product and I just started to use like hair oils. So I'm going back to being more naturally minded in the products I use and the things I put on my body. And also being more conscious about the food that I put in my body and when I put the food in my body and just all of that stuff. So we just like hung out and their dad was coming at noontime. And so around noontime, I hopped in the car. I took them over there. My son was a little upset because he didn't get to hang out with his friends like he wanted to. which was fine. So I got to stand there and talk to his dad for like 10, 15 minutes about the scheduling and how it's going to look like, and that he's going to have the kids for 2 weeks in July in the beginning. They're going to be on vacation and break, and it'll be easy for me just to leave them here instead of having to bring everybody and everything down to Florida when I do the big move. So, I'll load up the van and drive it down, and then the kids will hang out here with their dad, and then I'll see them like mid-July after they have their 2-week vacation with their dad, and that'll give him a little extra time with them. And then, depending on the transition and school and all of the extracurriculars and stuff, it's going to be very challenging to figure out the schedule and how it's going to work logistically. So I have a lot of different ideas I'd like to talk to their dad about after kind of thinking it through over the weekend. But we'll have to have a sit down and we'll have to talk about it and just be honest about like logistics and children and having them fly by themselves. And of course it can be done and they can do it, but I know my children and I know they have anxiety about certain things. So I just want to be careful and cautious about navigating this space to make sure everybody feels like it's fair. So anyway, I went to the dry cleaners to pick up my wedding dress because, like I said, I have my wedding dress. I use it for costumes, for Renaissance festivals, and for I've used it so many times for costumes, it's crazy. But it's just such a beautiful dress. And so I needed to get it cleaned, just because it was a little dirty from the last festival. And with moving it, I wanted to make sure, I was on top of it. So I went to pick it up and it wasn't ready. So then I just went back home. And the rest of Saturday was me pulling apart the sofa. There's 6 pieces for the sectional that I have. And I love my sofa. It's absolutely so comfy and just such a cool concept. I got it from Costco too, so that was great. 6 pieces, individual pieces that you could put it together any direction, any format you want. You can put it into like different individual sections if you want, like just a small sofa and like a little chase, or like an L-shaped with movable ottoman, or all kinds of things. But I wanted to deep clean it, so I got my vacuum. I pulled all the pieces apart. My vacuum is a battery operated Dyson, so it's the like smaller version, and so it kept like running out of battery in between the pieces. So this was like a couple hours of me charging the battery, vacuuming a couple pieces, charging it again, vacuuming more. I was able to do that, and in the middle, when I was charging the battery, I found a free TV box, and I'm going to be moving my TV, so getting a really nice TV box is perfect. So I went over to that person's house and picked up the TV box and had a very lovely conversation with the gentleman. Him and his wife and family moved from California about 8-9 months ago, and they have a beautiful house like in Cary, not too far from me. And they were just talking about the difference in California versus here, and how they're settling in, and just wishing me luck on my move. And so that was really nice. But yeah, I was able to sell some more things and get a TV box and deep clean my sofa and just have a lot of coffee all day, which when I was going through boxes of things, I found some bottles of tonic water and I was like, yes, I knew I had them. So I've been making my espresso tonics for myself. And then also just relaxing, a lot of relaxing and just chilling and focusing on my new plan, my new vision, So that new vision is me being a health and wellness practitioner. I am very much on this line of practicing my Reiki, practicing sound healing, practicing restorative yin yoga, practicing crystal healing and sound healing, and some spiritual life coaching. So all of those things, all of the things that bring me joy and excite me, I am going to get my certifications in the things I don't have, because I do have some certifications already. With my grandma being an herbalist and a neuroscientist, I am going to do a lot of work with her, getting her information online into courses so that other people can do certifications. But then also, with that being said, personally being like the guinea pig and going through the certifications myself. So then I will be certified in, her herbalist neuroscience course. So bringing that piece with the Reiki, with the yoga, with the sound healing, with the crystal healing, with the spiritual life coaching, all of it kind of pairs really well together. And I have some really amazing, beautiful manifestations about that. And I get to be whoever I want to be, and I get to make myself into a new version. And I don't have to be the same version I was, and I don't have to stick to the same field. Of course, I love coffee and everything, and I still will have a hand in coffee, and I believe that it's going to integrate very well into what I'm doing, but I believe that that's not going to be my main thing anymore, and I'm going to focus more on what I feel driven and passionate about. So this is just going to be an amazing new journey for me to get all these certifications and to just start to kill it as a just a new person, helping others the way that I was helped, awakening, healing, restoration, just calmness and peace, helping other people bring peace into their space. That was just a realization, as we have some cool things happening this weekend in the sky, and all of that to say that it's just it's been feeling very happy, easy, fun, loving, just kill it kind of feeling. And then we come to Sunday. So Saturday night, fell asleep kind of a little bit later. Had a little bit challenging of a time to go to sleep because I was not able to connect with my man. I thought we were going to connect on the phone, but he was super tired and fell asleep. So I was just sitting with this and feeling the emotions before I went to bed and releasing them and allowing myself to have these manifestations where I'm I think I'm in this place where I have so many manifestations, so many ideas, so many dreams, so many goals, and I'm just experiencing those through me. I'm not seeing a sidekick, a partner, a person next to me in any of these. And so for me to be able to integrate that second person in these, I want it to be me and him against the world and just creating our peace, creating our space. But since we're still long distance, it's really hard for me to physically start to feel that and know what know what the feeling is. So it's I'm starting to come up to these challenges of I really want him to be here with me, or I really want to be there with him. I want to be in person so that I could feel what it feels like to be together, and so that I can know how to put him into all of these future manifestation plans and stuff. Not that I'm planning the future out, but I'm just feeling, who is the woman I want to be? Who is that person? How can I start to embody her? And so that's kind of what I've been challenged with. But woke up Sunday, relaxed, very chill in the morning. Got myself up, got myself dressed and ready to go to service. And now I went to service, and I got there a little bit later than meditation and a little early for service, but I sat down and got to talk to some really lovely people before service. And then a beautiful service with an artist who was there, Reverend, and got to connect and just be in that space with all of these people who have connected with me in such a lovely, beautiful way over the last year. I think it was definitely last year when I connected to them. And so it's just been wonderful. And I had a great morning doing that. And then when I came home from doing that, I got myself ready for a breath work with a friend of mine. And so went to a gym and did a breath work with my friend. And that was just a beautiful thing to do, breath work. And again, I was having all these feelings coming up, and I was having like this tiredness, and I was like just wrestling with these like emotions. And I looked at my astrology cartography. So it's like the map of the world with your different astrological lines, kind of pinpointing like these specific areas in the world where like you should be, like you'll find love, or it'll be like a great place for money or business and family and different things like that. So I was looking on there, and I noticed that my lines crossed through a lot of Italy, and specifically Naples. And I was just like, ooh, I would really love to live there. So I started looking online, looking at pictures of Naples, of Napoli, and like just all of the beauty of those cities that I remember when I took a quick trip over there. I was just like, yes, this is calling to me. There's a specific place in Naples that reminded me of Little Mermaid, the movie. And I was just like the original cartoon movie. I was just like, this is it. This is the place. I started looking at flights. I started looking at Airbnbs. I started, taking snapshots and screenshots of different things. And I just like started putting it into my world, being like, yes, I'm going to visit for sure. But I definitely have always had it on my heart that I want to live in Europe. And Italy was calling me. So I don't know. I'm just going to manifest the shit out of it. And so looking at all of that online, talking to my man, he has not traveled internationally at all. So this is all would be new for him. And again, having this conflict of how do I continue to manifest the life that I want, that I feel deep in my spirit and my soul, without projecting too far into the future of our relationship. And like, how do I be true to who I am and I feel, and just be like, well, we're not in person yet, like I said. So we haven't had this like daily hangouts or weekend hangouts, or we just have had 4 in-person interactions when I went for vacation. But we've talked so much over the last month. And like I said, it's just this conflicting feelings and stuff going on with me. So yeah, Sunday night was really hard, where I just like got tired really quickly. And I was just like, I was super open and honest with him about it. I said, hey, I'm having all these conflicting feelings and emotions. I'm not really able to sort them. Nothing's really wrong, but I just want you to know that this is where I'm at. I'm super tired. I'm going to go to bed early, and I hope you have a great night's sleep and all that stuff. So I was open with communicating how I was feeling and interacting and moving through, the space, and then just be able to have him share with me that he's just blessed to have me in his life, and that he's blessed to have me, with him in this unusual space of transition. And then he was just very sweet about all of it. And so, yeah, that was the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday, after the breath work, I came home and just, like I said, chilled at home. Just really didn't do too much of anything. I watched a documentary, and it was really good. It was about, again, being yourself and moving through fear. It was also inspiring for me because I was like, I want to start listening to the Bible. I've read it many times, being a religious background, but I want to listen to the audio version of the Bible with a new headspace, with a new view, with a new understanding. And I just want to be able to listen to it like I would any other spiritual book that I've listened to, and have an open mind and open heart to hear the things that are needed to hear, and just to be aware of certain things that I wasn't aware of before, with such a closed mind and all of that. So that's on my radar as well. Get all these certifications in order, start my new business model, maybe like get a website, start a business card, like do all that stuff that I did for my coffee business, and just get out there and be like, I am going to be that person. I am going to start embodying that person, and like my goals, my visions, my future is just, all of it's going to happen. I just don't know how it's going to happen or when exactly, but I'm moving in the space of a new person, of this embodying who I want to be. Who is that person when I think about my ideal, like my ideal career, my ideal like daily things. I've had a whole year of actually living what I wanted to. Because when I had a 9-to-5 job and I was tied down and I was just like, I don't have fucking time for anything, for myself, for my kids, like time was not the same. And I was just like desperate to be on my own. And I did it for a whole year, and I paid the bills. I kept the lights on, I had food in the house. I got to do the things I wanted to do. I had fun. I found love. I lost love. I, worked on myself. I improved myself. I helped my children. I spent more time with them. I was here for family when my grandmother needed me the most, and I was able to help her get everything situated for her house and her move that was unexpected. And it's just like, I was able to do all the things I saw as my future just by making one move and having faith and not knowing what was going to happen. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I am going to step out and have faith and see the person and the future that I want, and embody that and move forward into that. So yeah, that was a whole lot of things to go through in one little itty bitty weekend. And, I think it just tired me out. And so I went to bed super early, like 9:30, really early, and just laid there in bed and turned my phone off, turned everything else off, did some breath work of my own, got in a mindset of like, what do I want? Who do I want to be? I just kept dreaming and imagining Italy, dreaming and imagining myself on the beach, dreaming and imagining myself on a bicycle, on a Vespa, like sitting at a cafe, drinking coffee. I have also been thinking and dreaming about myself being this healer and light worker, and just like embodying that person. Who am I? Who do I want to be? Who is the next, like, what does the next phase of my life look like, and how I see it? And now I'm stepping into it. And so that's kind of like an amazing, crazy thing. And I love it. And I went to sleep and it was just beautiful. So thank you guys so much for being here, supporting me. This has gone very long, longer than normal. 3 packed days of the weekend, getting closer and closer to our move and the end of our 1 year together. I thank you guys for supporting me, for being here, for listening in. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all of the things or none of the things. I do appreciate you guys so much. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and have the most beautiful day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.